Hey, do you know one thing? Sid has been preparing with full dedication for his class 12 boards. After completing the MySQL portion in 3 parts, he is now ready to take the next big step, solving PYQS on MySQL. Why is this important? Because solving last year questions not only sharpens your concept but also gives you a clear picture of what exactly to expect in your exam. So just like said, you too can boost your confidence and score higher by practicing PYQS. So here is the first question paper from which we are going to solve the questions based on MySQL. Let's proceed. Here is the question based on MySQL. Question number 8. In this query, we need to find out the correction. Read the query. Select department, count star from employees having count star greater than 5 group by department. In this query, we are counting the employees based on department but with condition. The number should be greater than 5. Here the syntax is wrong. First we need to write group by, then the condition with the having clause. After arranging it, it will look like this. Select department, count star from employees, group by department having count star greater than 5. We have already discussed this concept of aggregate functions, group by clause with having clause in the previous video. If you did not watch it, I would highly recommend you to go through this video at the speed of 2x. Let's move ahead and check out the next question. Here is question number 13. Which SQL command can change the cardinality of an existing relation? Cardinality means number of rows. So connect the word row to car. When we use insert command, it means we are adding one row to the table. So cardinality will change. Even when we are using delete command to delete a record, then also the number of rows will change. That's why the correct option is C, both A and B. What is the command in the D option? It is drop. We know that drop is used to delete the entire table. So it is not the correct choice. So the correct choice will be C. There is one more question we can see based on MySQL. It is question number 15. Read the question carefully. One table has 5 columns and 6 rows. If 2 columns and 3 rows are added, what will be the degree of the table? We know that what is degree? It is number of fields or number of columns. Because cardinality is nothing but number of rows, then degree is number of columns. Initially we have 5 columns and 2 are getting added to it. It means what will be the degree? It will be 7. So the correct choice is nothing but A. That was so simple. We can see there is one more question based on MySQL. Which SQL command is used to remove a column from a table? Removing a column means we are trying to change the structure of the table. For that we have DDL commands. And to keep these DDL commands in mind, we have created one mnemonics, that is nothing but CAD. Create, alter and drop. So from these 3 commands, we are gonna use alter table command. With this we can add a column, delete a column or modify a column with different clause. So out of these options, B is the correct choice. Hope you know the usage of other 3 options. Update command is used to modify a row. Drop is used to delete an entire table. And delete command is used to delete a row. Ultimately, alter is used to remove a column from a table. It's time to scroll down and check for more questions. There is one more question in the section A. Question number 21. It is of the form assertion and reasoning. Let's read the assertion. A primary key must be unique and cannot have null values. This is the perfect definition of the primary key. Let's read the reasoning. The primary key uniquely identifies each row in a table. This statement is also true. It is unique and it will not have null values. That's why it can uniquely identify a row. So what will be the answer? It will be A. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation for A. So in this sample paper, total 5 questions are asked based on MySQL in the section A, each for 1 mark. We know that total 20 marks is assigned to MySQL. Need not worry the type of questions you will be getting. You know everything. You can solve any type of question now. Now let's proceed to the section B. Here is question number 27th. We need to write suitable commands for the following. The first is view the table structure. To view table structure, we use DESC command. DESC, then we write the table name. Here is the syntax of the query. Let's give any example. You can even write a complete word describe. Let's take the example DESC and the name of table is EMP. What's the second task? We need to create a database, name SQP. To create database, we have command create. Then we will be writing this keyword database followed by the database name. As mentioned, the database name is SQP. So same we will be mentioning here. This was quite easy. Hope you understood. What's the OR part? We need to differentiate between drop and delete query in SQL. Along with that, we need to give a suitable example. You can write the difference in the tabular form or in the form of notes. We are very much clear with the difference between delete and drop command. With the drop command, we can delete entire table, even we can delete the database. Look at the syntax: drop table, table name, or drop database, database name. Give any example because it is mentioned. When we use drop command, entire structure along with its data gets deleted. As everything is getting deleted, there is no use of where clause to apply condition. Then what about delete command? It deletes all the rows or the specified rows. If you want to delete specified rows, then you can use where clause along with it. With this command, only data will get removed, but the structure will be there. So here is the syntax: delete from table name, where clause is optional. And here is one example. You can give any example of your choice. This question is for 2 marks. So I would suggest to write 4 differences. It means half mark for each difference. Hope you got the point. Let's move ahead. It is section C. I could not find any question in the section C. Let's move ahead to the section D. Here we have one table and we need to write the query for the following. It will be always good to practice these queries in MySQL. But after that, I would suggest you to write on the paper because ultimately you have to solve it on the paper in the board exam. So if you want me to show in MySQL, first of all we need to create the table, insert exactly same data to it. Alright then, using use command, use any database of your choice. Using create table command, create the table. And here is the insert query. We have inserted total 7 rows to the table. Now let's read the first query. To display total quantity sold. Here is the field quantity sold and we need total. It means we are using one aggregate function named sum for each product. Did you understand something here? We need to do grouping based on product. But I could see the condition for that grouping. Total quantity sold exceeds 12. Look at the table. We are interested in these 2 columns, product and quantity sold. The quantity of laptop sold is 5, smartphone is 10, tablet is 3. In this way, we need to calculate the sum of the quantity sold for each product. When we do grouping based on some field, that field will get displayed. So what we will display? We will display product and the sum of the quantity sold. So we are using this aggregate function sum based on this field quantity sold. Grouping is done on the field product. With having clause, we will be writing the condition. Having sum of quantity sold should be greater than 12. Look at the query. Select product, comma sum of quantity sold. Using as clause, you can rename that field. It is not necessary. From the table name cells, group by product, having sum of quantity sold greater than 12. Look at the output carefully. It is empty set. Why? Because there are no rows which are satisfying this criteria. Really? Let's look at the table. The quantity sold for the laptop is 5. For smartphone it is 10. For tablet it is 3 plus 5. It means 8, not greater than 12. Headphone 7. The next product is smartwatch, that is also 8 plus 3. It will be 11, not greater than 12. It means there is no row satisfying the criteria. That's why we got the output as empty set. But we need not bother about it because we need to write the queries. Now look at the next query. We need to display records of sales table sorted by product name, but that too in the descending order. This is very simple. Give it a try. Hope you got it. Here is the query. Select star from sales, order by product, DESC. DESC clause is used when we want to print the records in the descending order. Look at the products column. It is in the descending order. T is getting displayed first, then S, L and H. Here is the next query. We need to display distinct product names from sales table. This is also very easy. We need to display product names, that too using distinct clause. Hope you could write this query. Select distinct product from sales. Look at the output. No duplicates. We are at the last query. To display records of customers whose name end with letter E. It is nothing but pattern matching. We need to display the records of the customers whose name is getting ended with letter A. We use like operator for that. Along with like operator we can use two operators. The first is percent and the second one is underscore. So give it a try. Here is the query. Select star from sales where customer name like %E. Starting can be anything, but the last letter should be E. That's why we use % operator. It matches any number of character. Based on this criteria, we got two records. For the same question, we have OR part. In this, we need to predict the output of the following query. Read the first query. Select star from sales. Star means we need to print all the fields. What's the condition? Where product equals to tablet. Hope you too got the same output. With the product tablet, we have two records. The first is S003 and the second is S007. So all the fields for the product tablet are getting displayed. We have already discussed pattern matching and the second query is depending on it. We need to select sales ID and customer name from table sales where product like S%. We are displaying only two fields for the product whose name is getting started with S. So meanwhile you will write the output. I will copy and paste the same query and show you the output. We have three such entries. The first one is smartphone, the second is smartwatch and once again there is a smartwatch. That's why we have three records. Moving ahead to the next query. Here we are using in operator. With in operator we give a list of values. Select count star. With count star we will be counting all the rows. It may have duplicates, it may have null values too. Alright, let's check out the condition with the where clause. Product in laptop or tablet. Hope you understood what we need. We are just counting the rows with the product name laptop or tablet. Hope you too got the same value, that is nothing but 3. Look at the records. There is one entry with the laptop and there are two entries with the tablet. That's why count is 3. Here is the last query. Select AVG of price. We need to calculate average of the price from the table. What's the condition? Where product equals to tablet. We need to just print the average price for the product tablet. For your convenience, let me paste this query so that we can cross check the output. So here is the value which we are getting, 24,500. Look at the records. There are two entries with the tablet product. The first price is 15,000 and the second is 34,000. If you will add them and divide by 2, you will get the same value. Alright, let's proceed and check out for some more questions. Here it is, question number 34. We can see there are two tables. It means surely you will have the query based on the concept of joins. Look at the fields of both the tables carefully so that it will be easy to retrieve the data from both the tables. Always remember this thing, you will have a common column. Here hotel ID is the common column. Alright, read the first instruction. To display a list of customer names who have bookings in any hotel of Delhi city. Hey, it will be very easy for me to show you these queries in MySQL because I too have ChatGPT, Claude and Gemini. I can easily upload these images and ask for the queries. But I want you to practice on paper. Ultimately, we have to do the same in the board paper. Hope you remember all the joins and you are clear how to write the query for the same. Then tell me to write this query, which type of join you will be using. Clearly we don't need cross join, even we don't want this left outer join and right outer join. Matching records we get in case of inner join, equi join, non-equi join as well as in case of natural join. But in non-equi join we use these operators that also we don't need. Now there are three options. Whichever you feel easy, you can go ahead with it. I am using equi-join because it will be easy for me to write the where condition. Let's figure out the query together. We will be using select query. What we need to display? List of customer. So here is the field customer name. Write the name exactly same as mentioned in the table. When we are dealing with two tables, it is suggested to write the name of the tables in front of the column name. But it's okay, customer name is not common in both the tables. You can see here the table names are longer, so you can rename them also. Now let's write the table names from hotels, bookings. We are using two tables here. It's time to write the where clause. We are using equi-join, so no need to write any join keyword here. With the where clause, always we write that matching column criteria. So we will try to match the hotel ID of the hotels table with the hotel ID of the bookings table. So it will look like this, hotel.hid equals to bookings.hid. So let me write it. Now using AND operator, we will write the second condition which is mentioned in the question. Here the city should be Delhi. So we need to take city from the hotels table. Here also you must write actually hotels dot city equals to Delhi. But it's okay. It is not a common column. We can directly write city equals to Delhi. Don't forget to write semicolon. So here is the query. What will be output? You can guess it. Will we get the correct output from this query? Let's find out. Check out for the common rows. There are a lot of common rows, but the city should be Delhi. I could see there is only one HID which is common with the city Delhi and the customer name for it is Jia. Alright, here is the second question. To display booking details for customers who have booked hotels in Mumbai, Chennai or Kolkata. Alright, in this we have a list of cities. For that we can use in operator while writing the condition. And the booking details of the customers we have to display. That we are getting in this booking tables. It means all the fields from these booking tables we are going to display. So let's figure out how to write the query. The basic structure will be same. We will follow the same equi-join. All the booking details we want. So we will write the name of the table dot star. With this all the fields will get displayed. But we need to display all the details for the mentioned cities. So with the AND operator we will mention that condition. Here we will write the list of the cities. There are 3 cities mentioned: Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata. Then the final query will look like this. Hope you understood. Here is the third question. To delete all the bookings where check-in date is before the mentioned date. Hope you remember the date format of MySQL. 4 digits we will be using to mention year, followed by 2 digits for month, and then we will be writing 2 digits to specify date. Look at the table. We need to work on only one table, that is nothing but bookings, because check-in column is in the bookings table. For the specified date, we need to delete all the bookings. So for this check-in date, that is nothing but 3 December 24, we have only one record. So that will get deleted. This query is based on a single table and it's very easy. I am sure you can do it. So pause the video and write it yourself. Alright, here is the query. Hope you have written it correctly. In case of date, remember one thing. Dates always mentioned in a single quote, just like varchar field. Moving ahead to the fourth question, we need to display the Cartesian product of two tables. For getting Cartesian product, we have cross join, and hope you remember how we write the query. This is the simplest way to write the cross join. One more way I have explained. So let me know that in the comments below. This query will give the Cartesian product of both the tables. Hope you know what is Cartesian product. Look at the question paper. There is a OR part for this fourth question. To display customer names along with their booked hotel names. Hope you understood what we need to do. We need to display customer names which is in the bookings table. And the hotel names are in the hotels table. It means again it's the case of join, and you know the basic structure of join, right? So let's work out together. First we need to display customer name. So let's write the field name customer name. Along with that we need to write the hotel name also. So here is the field hotel name. In this case we need only matching records. There is no extra condition on it. So the query will look like this. Hope you understood this explanation too. With that we solve one question paper, but we are running a marathon, so we must check out the next destination, that is next question paper. So here it is. Let's proceed and check out the questions on it. We got the question. It is question number 9th. Let's read it. If a table has one primary key and two alternate keys, how many candidate keys will this table have? The correct answer is 3. How? There are total 3 keys. Out of that, one became the primary key and the remaining one will be the alternate keys. And all 3 keys are the candidate keys. That's why there are total 3 candidate keys. Let's move ahead and check out some more questions. Here is question number 13. Which SQL command can change the degree of an existing relation? Relation is nothing but table. Please make a note of it. Degree is nothing but number of columns and cardinality is nothing but number of rows. In the previous video, I think this explanation was wrong. So I apologize for that. How we can relate to something so that we will not get confused. Just dream that you have rows of Tesla cars. Anyhow, Elon Musk is trending. He is weird. So our dream is also weird. Here we are changing the column. It means we are trying to change the structure of the table. To change the structure of the table, we have DDL commands. To keep DDL commands in mind, we have created one mnemonics, that is CAD. Create, alter and drop. So out of that, alter command we are going to use. We already studied that alter command can be used with different clause. We can add the column, we can drop the column, we can modify the column. So ultimately the answer is nothing but alter table command. Hope you understood this explanation. Here is the next question which is based on MySQL. We need to find out the output of the query. Read the query carefully. Select star from products means we are displaying all the records from the product table. Here is the condition with the where clause. Where product name like app%. We are using like operator with some characters. We can use 2 characters for pattern matching. It will match more than 1 character. Whereas the second one is underscore which will match only single character. When we will read the option carefully, we will come to know that we are printing the details of all the products because we are using star whose name is starting with app. The remaining character can be anything. So A is the correct choice. Now we are proceeding to the next question which is also based on MySQL. So let's read it. In which data type the value stored is padded with space to fit the specified length? This is related to string data type. We have 2 string data type for that, varchar and char. Out of these 2, varchar is a variable length data type. It occupies the number of bytes based on the length of the string, but char is a fixed length data type. It means though the length of the string is less, it will occupy all the bytes. Then what about these remaining bytes or remaining characters? It will get filled with space. That's why the correct choice is nothing but char. There is one more question based on MySQL. It is question number 16. Which aggregate function is used to find the cardinality of the table? Cardinality is nothing but number of rows. Look at these aggregate functions. Sum will calculate sum, average will calculate average, max will calculate the maximum of the attribute. Then only the count function is left. It means the correct option is count. Count ultimately counts the number of rows. It means with the help of count we will be getting cardinality of the table. Now let's proceed whether we have some more 1 mark questions based on MySQL or not. Here it is in the form of assertion and reasoning. So let's read the assertion first. A select statement in MySQL can have both where and having clause. This statement is absolutely true. First, where clause is used to apply condition on the table. But with the having clause, we apply condition for group by clause. Where and having clause are used to check conditions, therefore these can be used interchangeably. No, this statement is false. These cannot be used interchangeably. The usage of where and having is different. It means if we look at the options, the option C is correct. A is true but R is false. Here is question number 27. It is based on constraints. We studied total 5 constraints in the previous video. Unique constraint, primary key constraint, then default constraint. The fourth one is check constraint and the fifth one is foreign key constraint. There is one more constraint I need to add, that is called as not null constraint. We have already used this in one of the query. When we apply not null constraint in any column, it will allow duplicates but it will not allow null values. Hope you got an idea. Now let's read the question. We need to tell the name of the constraint which will not allow the duplicate values but it will allow null. So tell me which constraint is applicable out of these 6. Ultimately it is unique constraint which will not allow duplicates but it will allow null values. From name itself it is clear. Unique means it will not allow duplicate values. So the answer for this is unique constraint. Now let's read the OR part for the same question. Here also we need to tell the name of the constraint. But what's the speciality of that constraint? Let's read. Where null is not allowed but duplicates are allowed. Just now we discussed this not null constraint. The description is matching. It allows duplicate and doesn't allow null values. So the answer for this question is not null constraint. Moving further, for the 27th question, we have second part. In this, we need to write the SQL command. Alright, let's read this also. We have a table name mobile. We need to remove the primary key constraint. The name of the primary key constraint is MID. Here we are trying to change the structure of the table. It means we will be using DDL command. Out of this DDL command, which one we will use? Obviously, that is nothing but alter table. So let's try to write it. First we will write alter table followed by the name of the table, that is mobile. Write the name of the table as it is. We know different clause we can use with the alter table. Add, modify, drop. Here we are removing, so we will use the drop clause. We need to drop the primary key. So directly we can write like this, primary key, because there will be only one primary key. So this is how the query will look like. Now it's time to check the OR part. Write SQL command to make column MID as the primary key of already existing table name mobile. Here we use the drop clause. Now we will be using the add clause of the alter table command. So let me write the B query here itself. First we will be writing alter table. The name of the table is same, that is mobile. Then we will be using the clause add. We have to make the primary key. So the name we will be writing primary key followed by the name of the column. It is nothing but mobile ID. We are done with the query. Alright then, let's proceed and check out for some more questions. Finally, we got this 4 mark questions. This is question number 32. We have one table. Name of the table is orders. Here only 3 records are provided. According to the note, there can be more records also. That is fine. Now let's read the question. We need to write the queries. Here is the first one. We need to display the total quantity for each product. But for displaying it, we have condition. We have to exclude the product whose total quantity is less than 5. Let me explain here. We have to print the total quantity of each product. It means we are doing grouping based on the product. It means we are displaying the product and its total quantity. Let's try to understand with one product. Let's take product laptop. In one record we have quantity 1 and in the second record we have quantity 7. It means total quantity is 8. Only this record will get displayed. You know why? Because the total quantity is more than 5. If it is less than 5, the records will not get displayed. Look at the other records total count. The smartphone is 2, headphone is 1. It means we should get this output. Now let's understand how to write the query. For displaying data, we will be using select command. We understood that we need to print the product. Along with that, we need to print the total quantity. How we will calculate total quantity? By adding them up. For that, we have sum function. Sum of quantity. We got both the columns. If you want to rename this column as total quantity, use as clause and write the name. The query will be followed with the from clause. From name of the table, that is nothing but orders. We are doing grouping here based on the product. So, we will be writing group by clause. Group by product. But while grouping, we have condition that we will be writing with the having clause. What's the condition? The sum of quantity should be greater than or equal to 5. Hope you understood this query. Let me execute this query directly in the MySQL software. Look at the output. We got the expected output based on our data. To make it clear only, we have added some more records to the table. Based on your records, you may get some different output. Let's try to write the second query to display order table sorted by total price in descending order. For ordering, we know we have order by clause, and if you want to display the records in the descending order, we will be using DESC clause. For price, I am going to use this column. So let's write the query. Select star from orders. Here is the order by clause. Order by price we have to display in the descending order. So, we will be using DESC clause. This query was simple. After the execution of query, look at the output. The records are displayed based on the descending order of price. It's time to check out the third query to display distinct customer name from the order table. This is also very easy. We need to display the customer name. And for distinct table, we will be using distinct clause in front of the column C name. Here is the query. Select distinct C name from orders. Let's execute this. All the customer names are getting displayed because we don't have any duplicate data. If we will have it, we will not get it because we are using distinct clause. So the query will be select distinct C name from orders. We need to write one more query. Display the sum of price for all the orders for which the quantity is null. Alright, let's try to write the query. We need to just display the sum of price. So let's apply the sum function on the price column. And that we need to display. So select. But while displaying, we have some condition. Quantity should be null. So let's continue. From the table name is orders. Now let's write the where condition. In the previous video, we understood how to handle null. There are two clauses. One is null and there is the reverse of it, that is not null. Here we will be using is null. That we need to check. So is null we will be applying on the quantity column where quantity is null. So this is how the query will look like. Let me show you the output of this query too. Look at the output. We displayed the price, that is nothing but 5000, where quantity is null. Using as clause, we can rename the column. We know it. In this way, we have written 4 queries. Now there is a or part of the same question in which the query is given and we need to find out the output. The same table we need to consider. So let's check out the first query. Select CNAME and sum of quantity as total quantity. We are renaming this column from table name group by CNAME. Let's try to work out here. We are doing grouping with the group by clause based on CNAME. And generally, we will print that column based on which we are doing grouping. So, what will get printed? CNAME. Along with that, what we are printing? The sum of quantity. So, these two columns we will be getting. Now, let's look at the record. We don't have repeated records based on CNAME. It means only one customer got one quantity. That's why the sum will be the same. If we would have the entries with the same name more than one, then the sum will get calculated. So all the names will get displayed and the sum of quantity will be as it is. Wait. Make a note of it. We are renaming this sum of quantity as total quantity. That's why this will get displayed here. Anyhow, we have table here. Let's check out the output. It means we were absolutely correct. We got the expected output. Let's read the second query. Select star from orders. It means all the columns we need to display. What's the condition? Where product like phone. For pattern matching, we are using % symbol. It means in the starting, any number of characters will be there and in the end also any number of characters can be there. Hope you got the output. Here is the table. You can easily guess the output of this query. Look at the record. We have 2 entries which contains phone in its product name. It means 2 records will get displayed. One thing I wanted to tell you that these 2 records I have inserted into the table to get the clarity of the A part of the question. But here we need to write the output based on the records which are mentioned in the question. So you will not write these 2 records. I will delete those 2 records and then we will discuss the output. Alright, then for the first query you will be writing these 3 records. Now it's time to check the output for the second query. Here is the expected output. We will be getting 2 records with smartphone and headphone because it contains this word phone. So it's time to discuss the output for the third query. We are displaying OID, CNAME, product, quantity and price. It means what actually we are displaying? All the columns from orders. Alright, let's proceed and check the condition. Price between 1500 and 12,000. Directly we will be executing this query in MySQL and let's check out the output. We are getting the records from the order table whose price is in this range. Both the values are included. That's why look at this record. 1500 also we got and 12,000 also we got. We are printing OID, CNAME, product, quantity and price. So accordingly here is the table. It's time to discuss the last query. Select max price from orders. This is also so simple. We are just printing one column. The name of the column will be max price and we will get the maximum price of the product. Look at the record. We will be getting 12,000. We understood, but let's execute. We will also get practice of the queries. There was no doubt we got the expected column. Let's move further and check for more questions. Here it is question number 34. There are 2 tables. One is faculty and the another one is courses. If there are 2 tables, means we need to work on the joins because we will be extracting data from both the tables. Carefully look at the columns of the table. You will surely have one common column. Here FID is the common column. We need to write the query. So let's read the instruction to display complete details from both the tables of those faculties whose salary is less than 12,000. Look at the salary of the faculty. This is the sad reality. No worries. Let's work out here. We need the details from both the tables. So here we will be using one of the join. Hope you remember all the types of joins we have discussed already in the previous video. We actually need the matching records. For matching records we have 3 options. The first one is inner join, the second one is equi join and there is one more option that is natural join. So whichever you feel easy, you can go ahead with it. Alright, let's apply natural join on both the tables. We need to display the complete detail. So we will be writing select star. After that from. First we will write the name of the first table, that is nothing but faculty. Now let's apply natural join. We are joining this faculty table with the courses table. So here is the name of the table. Now it's time to apply the condition. For that we will be writing where clause where salary is less than 12,000. The salary column is in only one table. That's why no need to mention the name of the table. Hope you understood this explanation. If you want to go ahead with other types of join, you can write that query too. Let's move ahead and check the second question. To display details of courses whose fees is in the range of 20,000 to 50,000, both values included. Here we need the details of courses, and the details of courses are in the courses table. It means we need to work on the single table. To create range in which both the values should get included, then we can use the between operator. As there is no place to write the query, let's do it here. We need to display all the details. So we will write select star from. The name of the table is courses. Now it's time to write the condition with the where clause. Where fees, we are going to use between operator. Between, the range is given as 20,000. To create range, we use AND operator also. 20,000 and 50,000. With this, both the limits will get included. Hope you understood this query too. Alright, let's check out the next one. To increase fees of all the courses by 500 which have computer in their course name. Look at the courses table. We need to increase the fees by 500. But the condition is it should have the computer in their course name. It means 2 records will get updated. For updating, we have update query. Now we are not writing select, we are writing update query. Update, the table name is courses. We have to update fees. So we will be writing that with the set clause. Set fees equals to fees plus 500. With that we increase the fees by 500. Now what's the criteria? The course name should have computer in it. It can be anywhere. It means we need to do pattern matching. For that we will be using like operator. So let's do it with the where clause. Where CNAME like, we will use % operator. It means it can be anything in the beginning, but the condition is computer should be there, or anything can be in the end. So this is how the query will look like. Moving ahead to the fourth question, there are 2 parts A and B. Let's read the first one. To display names FNAME and LNAME of faculty taking system design. In this query, we need to consider both the tables because FNAME and LNAME we will be getting from the faculty table, whereas course name we will be getting from the courses table. So let's work out on this query. Again, we need the matching records. For that you can use any type of join. You can use natural join or you can use equi-join. I am going ahead with natural join. So let's write the query. We need to display LNAME as well as FNAME. So select FNAME, comma LNAME. First we will mention the name of the first table, that is from faculty. I am doing the natural join, so I am writing natural join, the name of the second table, that is nothing but courses. Now it's time to check the criteria for getting the records from both the tables. For that we will write the where clause, where CNAME should be system design. So CNAME equals to system design. We got this query. Hope you understood the explanation. If you are using equi-join, using equal to operator, write the common column from both the tables. Now it's time to check out the OR part of the question number 4th. We need to display the Cartesian product of these two tables. Hope you remember when we discussed join, cross join gives the Cartesian product. Keep this slide of joins in mind. If you want Cartesian product, we can use cross join. How to write the query? Let me show you this slide once again. We have already discussed this in the previous video. For Cartesian product, we use the cross join, and this is how the query will look like. Select star from first table, cross join second table. But we need not mention the cross join. We can directly write the name of both the tables. It will ultimately take the Cartesian product. Select star from first table name followed by second table name. Now this is so simple, isn't it? Tell me how we will be writing the query. Select star from faculty, comma, courses. So this is how our query will look like. Hope you understood this explanation too. We could find one question which is for 1 mark. Let's read it. In the table in MySQL, the attribute A of data type varchar20 has value Keshav. The attribute B of data type char20 has value Meenakshi. How many characters are occupied by attribute A and attribute B? According to the question, the attribute A is having varchar data type with size 20 and B is having data type char and the size is same. We know varchar means variable length string. It takes as many bytes as the length of the string. The length of the string is 6. So attribute A will occupy 6. Whereas in case of var20, it's a fixed length. The size is 20 means the characters occupied by it will be 20. Look at the options. The correct option will be B, 6 and 20. There is one more question. Let's read it. In a table, alpha has degree 5 and cardinality 3. There is one more table beta with degree 3 and cardinality 5. What will be the degree and the cardinality of the Cartesian product of alpha and beta? Okay, let's solve this example. You know cardinality means rows and degree are the columns. So according to the instruction, alpha has 3 rows and 5 columns, whereas beta has 5 rows and 3 columns. When we talk about column, it will get added 5 plus 3. So the total number of columns are 8. Columns are nothing but degree. We got degrees, that is 8. Now let's calculate rows. In case of Cartesian product, first record will get matched with all the records of the second table. It means for the first record, you got total 5 rows. In the same way, for the second record 5 rows. Similarly, for the third record, we will get 5 rows. Total rows will be 15. Rows are nothing but cardinality. First we need to write degree. Degree is 8 and then we will be writing cardinality. Cardinality is equals to 15. So the correct option is B. There is one more 1 mark question in the sample question paper. Let's read it. Which of the following statement is false about keys in a relational database? Read all the statements carefully. Any candidate key is eligible to become a primary key. This statement is true. This is nothing but the definition of the candidate key. Moving ahead to the next statement. A primary key uniquely identifies a tuple in a relation. This statement is also true. This is the definition of the primary key. Let's read the next statement. A candidate key that is not a primary key is a foreign key. This statement is actually false. The foreign key will be the primary key of the another table. There is one more statement. Let's go through it. A foreign key is an attribute whose value is derived from the primary key of the another table. Yes, this statement is true. This is also nothing but a definition of the foreign key. So out of the fourth option, C is the correct choice because this statement is false and we need to tell the false statement. In this way, we solve 3 questions from section A. Now let's proceed to the section B. Here is the 2 mark question. Read the question carefully. Miss Shalini created the table. The name of the table is employee. It has columns, e-name, department and salary. After creating the table, she realized that she has forgotten to add a primary key column to the table. So we need to help her to write the MySQL command to add a primary key. The name of the column is employee ID. It is of integer type. So this is the first question where you need to add a column which will act as a primary key. Let's proceed to the question. We need to write a command to insert the following record to the table. So this is the second question. Let's write the query for the first question. As already table is created, now we need to alter it with the alter table command. And we are adding one column. For that we will be using add clause. The query will look like this. Alter table employee, add employee ID. The data type is integer. And this column will act as a primary key. So the constraint we will be mentioning here. Now let's write query which will insert data to this table. Insert into employee, don't forget to write values keyword. Here we are providing data to the fields according to the structure. The first field is ename, second is department and third is salary. EMPA ID will come at last as we have added it later. So accordingly we are providing the details. You know there is a variation for insert command. You can write this command in this way also. Insert into employee. Here we are mentioning the list of the fields. And with values keyword we are providing the values. By mentioning the name of the column list and the values, we can change the sequence. Employee ID is mentioned first, so the data we can provide accordingly, followed by ename, department and salary. There is a or part for this question. Let's read it. Jack is working in a database named Sport. So this is the name of the database in which he has created a table named Sports. Sports table contain these columns. First is sport ID, then sport name, number of players, fourth is category. After creating the table, he realized that the attribute category has to be deleted from the table and a new attribute type sport of data type string has to be added. And while adding this new attribute to the table, it cannot be left blank. Alright, we need to help Jack to write this command. The first task is to delete an attribute. For that we will be using alter table command. Alter table sports drop category. With this, one column category is getting deleted. Now moving ahead to the second task, we need to add attribute. The name of the attribute is type sport. Whenever we need to modify the structure of the table, we will be using alter table command. So here is the query, alter table sports. We are using here add clause to add a column to the table. The name of the column is type sport. The data type is cat10 and it should not be blank. That's why we are adding here constant not null. With not null, we cannot leave this column blank. With this we solve one question for 2 marks from the section B. Let's proceed to the section C and check some more questions which can be based on MySQL. Consider a table. The table name is club and we need to write the output of the SQL queries. Look at the table carefully and then read the queries. Here is the first query. Select count distinct sports from club. Here count function is applied on a column. So we will be counting sports. With distinct keyword we know we have to remove duplicates. Then look at the column sports. Here is the first sport name chess, the second is cricket, third is volleyball and fourth is karate. In the next row there is chess, it is repeated. Even karate got repeated. Finally we have cricket, that is also repeated. So distinct sports we are getting as 4. Look at the output, we got correct answer. After select statement, whatever we write, it will come as a column header. It's time to read second query. Select cname, sports. Look at the where clause. This is the first condition. Date of application should be less than the mentioned date. With AND operator, we have second condition too. Cname like %NA. Both the conditions should be true. Look at the second condition. Here is the cname column. %NA means in the name starting can be anything but last 2 characters should be NA. We have 2 records which are matching this criteria. Now look at the first condition. Date of application should be less than the mentioned date. For Mina, the date of application is 2007, means it is greater than the mentioned one. Now look at the Amina, the date of application is 2003. So ultimately only one record is satisfying both the criteria. For that record we will be printing C name, that is Amina, and the sports is chess. Look at the output. We got the perfect output. Let's erase everything and move ahead to the third query. Select C name, age and pay. The first column will be C name, the second will be age and third will be pay. It's time to check out the conditions. The first condition is gender should be male. Here also we are using the logical operator AND. After that we have second condition. Pay should be between 1000 and 1200. Look at the gender column. With male we have total 3 records. Now let's check out for the second condition. For this record pay is 1300. It doesn't satisfy the criteria because it is more than the specified range. Look at the next record. Pay is 1000. Yes, this record satisfies both the condition. Moving ahead to the next record, the pay is 1050. This record also satisfies both the condition. So in the output, we need to print the C name for these two records, then age and pay. So for these two records, we will be printing name. So the name is Amrit, age is 28 and pay is 1000. Similarly, for the second record, name is Virat, age is 35 and pay is 1050. Look at the output. Congratulations, you are absolutely right. From the section C, we solved one 3-mark question. Yes, there is one more question. Here is the table. The name of the table is personal. Let's proceed and check the question. Here we need to write the queries according to the instructions. Read the question carefully. If you know how to write the queries, pause the video and try it yourself. Then you can come back and cross-check your answer. Hope you could write these queries. Now let's try to solve these queries. Increase the salary by 5% of personnel whose allowance is known. Look at the allowance column. There are some null values that we will not consider. To update values in already existed table, we will be using update command. So here is the query. Update table name. Set. We need to update the salary. So salary will be salary equals to 0.5. 5% means 5 divided by 100. It should be equals to 0.05, not 0.5. So correct it. What's the condition? Whose allowance is known. With where clause we will write the condition where allowance is not null. While revising MySQL, we studied how to handle null with is and is not operator. Here we don't want to consider null, that's why we are writing is not. Let's erase everything and move ahead to the second question. Display name and total salary. The total salary will be sum of salary and allowance that we are displaying for all the personnel. The column heading will be total salary. To display we simply use select command. First we will be displaying name and the second is total salary. First we need to calculate this total salary as there is no such field in the table. It will get calculated here itself. We need to write salary plus allowance. While displaying we need to give name to this column. That we will be doing with as. The name is total salary. Finally, we will be writing the table name from personal. So here is the query. Now let's check out the third description. Delete record of supervisor whose salary is greater than 25,000. From designation we will come to know that person is supervisor. It means there are two conditions. So let's write the delete query. Delete from table name. The table name is personal. Now let's check out the condition where designation should be supervisor. So we will be providing it here. Supervisors. There is one more condition that we can mention with AND operator. And salary should be greater than 25,000. So the query will look like this. If we run this query, one record will get deleted because this supervisor is not satisfying the criteria of the salary. It is null. Hope you understood this explanation. In this way, we are done with the section C. Now let's proceed and check section D. Yeah, we got one more question in the section D. In this question, there are two tables, so it will surely cover the concept of joins. We need to write the queries based on the instructions. Read the first question. Display product name and brand name from the tables product and brand. In the first query, we want to consider both the tables. Product name is present in the product table. What about brand name? Brand name is in brand table. If we need to retrieve data from more than one table, there should be a common column. The common column is BID. Now we will match this common column and extract the data. Now it will be very easy to write the query. Select the first column we need to display is product name. So the name of the field is P name. The second column we need to print is brand. The name of the field in the table is B name, followed by the name of the tables. The first name of the table is product. The second name of the table is brand. If you want to rename the table, you can give it here. I am giving P for product and B for brand. It's time to write the where clause. With where clause, we are matching the common column. The condition is P.BID should be equals to B.BID. So here is the query. Even you can write this query with inner join too, because we need matching records, and you know we get matching record with inner join or with equijoin. What is the next question? Display the structure of the table product. This query is very easy. We will be writing DESC and then name of the table, that is product. Let's try to read the third instruction. Display average rating of Medimix and Dove brand. The name of the brand we will be getting in the brand table. For that we need to print the average rating. Rating we are getting in the product table. It means we need to deal with both the tables. When we match the common column, it is clear that there are two ratings for the Medimix brand. Then what about Dove brand? For it also there are two ratings. Means here we need to do grouping based on the brand name. Alright, let's try to figure out the query. As we are doing grouping on the brand name, we will be printing it so that we will get an idea. The second thing is average of rating. Here we are dealing with both the tables that we have mentioned along with the nickname for it. With where clause we are writing this condition where we are matching the records. It's time to write the grouping statement. We are doing grouping based on brand name. But for grouping we have condition that we write with having clause. The brand name should be Medimix or it can be Dove. If we write this query, we will be getting the required output. First, brand name will get displayed followed by average of rating for that brand. For Medimix there are two ratings and for Dove also there are two ratings. Moving ahead to the last instruction. Display name. For name we have the field name P name. The second column that will get displayed is price. For price we have U price field in the table. The third field is rating of the product. The name of the field is rating. In descending order of rating. All these fields are present in the product table. So here we are dealing with only one table. Then let's write the from clause from product. We need to display the records in the descending order of rating. For ordering we use order by clause. Based on rating we are arranging the records, that too in the descending order. So don't forget to write this keyword DESC. So that was the explanation of this question. Hope you understood it. In this way we covered the questions from the section D. Now let's move ahead to the section E and check are there any questions based on MySQL. Look at this question. This is 5-mark question which is divided into 1 plus 4. This 4-mark question is based on file, but 1-mark question is based on MySQL. Let's read the question. Define the term domain with respect to RDBMS and give one example to support your answer. Let's read the answer from the marking scheme. Domain is nothing but a set of values which are permitted value for the particular record in a table. Let's consider an example. If you have a table name student and there is a field name roll number, then you can only enter integer values in that field. So what is the domain for this field? It is a set of integer values. In the OR part of the same question, there is one question for 1 mark. Difference between alternate key and candidate key. Candidate keys are the columns which has the characteristics to become a primary key. But all the candidate keys cannot be a primary key. Only one of them will be a primary key. Now let's read the definition. You will understand the candidate keys that do not become primary keys are alternate keys. Let's understand this concept with one example. There is Lok Sabha election for the post of Prime Minister. There are many candidates for this position. But you know, one of them will be the Prime Minister, not all. So Prime Minister is nothing but a primary key. All these candidates are nothing but candidate key. The candidates which couldn't be Prime Minister are called as alternate key. In this way, we solve all the questions based on MySQL from the sample question paper. If you need some more questions to practice, there is a dedicated video in which we have covered lot of questions. So I would recommend you to go through this video. In case you are facing language issue, concentrate on the question, solve it yourself, then you can cross check the answer against me. Which SQL operator is used for pattern matching? And it is like operator. Alright then, let's move ahead to the next question. Differentiate between percent and underscore character which is used with the like operator with appropriate examples. You can very well understand the answer from the marking scheme. You know, with the like operator, when we use percent symbol, it will match any number of characters. So that is the first point. It matches any sequence of characters. You can consider any example. T% means the string will start with T with any number of character. And what about underscore? It matches only a single character. The first character can be anything, the second character also can be anything, but the third character should be T. So with this pattern matching, you will be getting the words like this: cat, mat. First letter can be anything, second can be anything, but the third should be T. That was also quite simple. Let's move ahead to the last question of the section B. Always read the question carefully. There are two commands with the reference to a table. The table name is employee and the column name is department. So here are these two statements where we could see count star and the count function is used. Let's check the question. If these two commands are producing different results, what may be the possible reason? Which command A or B might be giving higher value? I know you all are familiar with the difference between count star function and the count function. Count star function counts all the rows of the table including null also. Where count function we apply on a particular column and it will not consider null values. Let's read this answer also from the marking scheme. Count star returns all the rows in a table, whereas count function is used with the column name passed as an argument and counts the number of not null values. Hence the result will differ. Yes, we know that the result will be different. And there is one more question, that which function will give the higher value. As count star will count the null values also, ultimately it will be giving the higher value. Oops, we forgot to check out the OR part of the 24th question. So let's read it. The difference between drop and delete command. We discussed some MySQL Viva questions. In that we discussed the difference too. But let's check out once again. Moving to the marking scheme. We use drop command to remove the table. Even it is used for deleting the database. It will be good always to write the example. Drop table student, it will remove the student table from the database. Now what about delete command? Delete command is used to delete the rows from the table. Take any random example. Delete from student where percentage is less than 33. It will remove all the records of the students having percentage less than 33. Let's read the first question from the section C, that is 26th question. This question is based on MySQL. There are two tables. The first table name is book and the second table name is member. Moving ahead, let's check the question. The first question based on table is what will be the output of the following statement, and in this statement we are doing the natural join of the two tables. I hope your concepts of joins are crystal clear. If not, I will suggest you to go through this video at the speed of 2x so that all the concept related to joins will get recalled. Now let's check out the output of the natural join. All the columns of the first table will get printed. This is the first column, this is the second, and here is the third column of the first table. Now look at the columns of the second table. The first column of the second table is getting printed. Even the second column is also getting printed. When we look at the next column, that is code, this column is present in the book table also. So in case of natural join, the columns with the same name of the associated table will appear only once. You can see here the column code is already printed. That's why it will not get printed again. Then moving ahead to the next column, issue date is getting printed. So that was natural join. In case of natural join, the repeated column will get displayed once. Hey, we got an idea about fields. Now what about records? Do we have any doubts? No, right? It's a join and we will be getting common records. There are total 3 common records in the table. So we will be getting all those 3 records. Proceeding to the B part of the same question. Here is one table, employee. Let's check out the question. We need to predict the output of the given queries. Okay, then let's read the first query. Select name. So name column will get printed, that we have mentioned. After name, the second column is project, that also we have mentioned. From employee, what's the criteria? Order by name in the descending order. So we are going to print the names in the descending order. That's why the first name got printed with S, then R, M. And if we look at the last two names, both are getting started with the alphabet A. Then which one will get printed first? In such cases where the first alphabet is same, the comparison will continue to the next character. Now we will check the second character. First L will come, then K will come. That's why first Alex got printed and later Akhtar. Followed by name, their corresponding project also getting printed. So that was the output of the query. Hope you understood it. Let's check the next query. Select name. First column is name. Second column we are going to print, that is salary. From table name, it's time to check out the condition where name like A%. We know how this works. Starting will be A and the remaining characters can be anything because percent matches any number of characters. So if we look at the name column, there are two names starting with A, Akhtar and Alex. In this way we got this output, name starting with A followed by their corresponding salary. Time to check out the third query. Select name and date of joining. Okay, let's write the two columns. From employee, let's check the criteria with the where clause. Salary between 1 lakh and 2 lakh. Okay, then look at the column salary. The first salary is 1,50,000. It satisfies the criteria. That's why the first name will get printed, that is Ranjan. If we look at the next record, the salary is 1,25,000. Okay, it satisfies the criteria, so it will get printed. Moving ahead to the next record. The salary is 1,35,000. It also satisfies the criteria. That's why the name Munira and the corresponding date of joining for that employee will get printed. We got the required output. We are at the last query. Select star from employee where project equal to P01. We will be printing all the fields for the employee which will satisfy this criteria. Then look at the project column. We could see P01 twice. So these two records will get printed. That too all the fields of these two records. That's why we will be getting this output. Hope you understood this concept too. 26 question got over. Now it's time to check question number 27. This question is also based on MySQL. Let's check out. There are two tables. The first table is faculty and the second table is courses. Let's scroll down and check the question. Here too we need to find the output of the following queries. Okay, we are ready to find out the output. Let's read the first query. Select FID, minimum of fees and maximum of fees. So these three fields will be getting printed that we have mentioned. From table name, group by FID. Now look at the courses table as mentioned. We are doing grouping on the FID and we have to find out the minimum of fees and the maximum of fees. Let's check out for the first FID. First FID is F01. The fees for FID 01 is 40,000 and there is one more record. The fees is 12,000. Out of these two we know what is minimum, that is 12,000. So that we will be writing here. We got minimum as 12,000, then maximum will be 40,000. So that will get displayed. In this way we will be calculating minimum of fees and maximum of fees for the rest of the FID. The next is F04. There are two records. Minimum we could see is 15,000 and maximum is 17,000. For F03 there is only one record, so that will be minimum and the same will be maximum too. At last we have FID F05 and the fees is null. So in both the places we will be writing null. Let's erase the scribbling and moving ahead to the next query. Select average of salary from faculty where F name like %A. Here the table name is faculty. So look at the faculty table. We are interested in the F name whose starting characters can be anything but the last should be A. From the table Anisha and Neha satisfies the criteria. For them we need to calculate average of salary. So Anisha's salary is 32,000 and let's check the Neha salary. Neha salary is 27,000. To calculate average we need to add them. So we got 59,000 and there are two records. So we will be dividing 59 by 2. In this way we will be getting average salary as 29,500. The header for the column will be as mentioned after the select clause. It's time to check out the third query. Select F name. Okay, that we will mention. And the second column is C name. That also we will mention. From faculty and courses. Here we are going to combine both the tables. That's why we have given some alias to it so that it will be easy to write the query. Now F is the name of the faculty and C is the name of the courses table. With where clause generally we combine and we mention the criteria too. This is the first statement which is used to combine or join two tables in which we take the common column. You can see here FID is the common column and with the AND operator we will mention the required condition. Courses.fid should be F04. We could have written here C.fid but that's not a problem. We understood what we want. So look at the courses table. There are two records with FID F04. For this F04, C name we are getting as Python and computer network. So that we got, but we need F name too. That we will be getting from the faculty table. So faculty name for the F04 is Neha. Neha took two courses. Let's erase everything and move ahead to the next query. Select F name, C name and fees. There are three columns which we are going to display. Okay, let's move ahead to the next part. From faculty F and courses C. Here also we are considering both the tables. Means first we will join it and then we will see the criteria. So here is the statement to join. And the criteria we are mentioning with the AND operator. Fees should be greater than 15,000. C name and fees we will be getting from the courses table and F name we will be getting from the faculty. So let's try to match it. In the first record, the fees is 40,000, means it satisfies the criteria as it is greater than 50,000. For that fees, we will be printing CNAME, that is grid computing, and the name we will be getting from the faculty. Let's try to find out the name for this faculty F01, that is Anisha. So we got this record, Anisha, grid computing, and the fees is 40,000. In the same way, let's check the remaining fees. The next fees is 70,000. It is also more than 15,000. CNAME for that is Python and the faculty ID is F04. The name of the F04 faculty ID is Neha. So we could see here that is also displayed in the output. Next fees is 18,000. It doesn't match the criteria. Moving ahead to the next fees, it is 15,000, but the condition is fees should be greater than 15,000, not greater than equal to. It doesn't satisfy the criteria. Next record also doesn't satisfy the criteria. Even the last record. Finally, we will be getting this output. Hope you understood this explanation. If you have any doubt, let me know in the comments. Part A of the 27th question got over. Moving ahead to the part B. Write the name of the command to display the structure of the table in a database. To describe structure of the table, we use DESC command. DESC, then the table name. Write any random example like DESC and then mention any table name. Here we are mentioning the name of the table as student. I will suggest you to go through all the commands of the MySQL. Though question looks very lengthy, read it carefully. Here is a table result with some data. Now based on the given data, answer the following questions. If you know the answer, anytime you can skip that part and proceed to the next question. Alright then, let's read the first question. Identify the columns which can be considered as a candidate keys. Candidate keys are the keys which can be a primary key, and to become any candidate key as a primary key, it should be unique. If it is duplicate, it cannot be a candidate key too. So look at the columns which are unique. You can see roll number is unique. Obviously it will be. And look at the admission number column. This also looks unique. There are no duplicate values. That's why admission number and the roll number can be candidate keys. It's time to read next query. If 2 more columns are added and 3 rows are deleted from the table result, what will be the new degree and cardinality of the above table? You know what is degree and cardinality, right? We link car word of the cardinality to rows. That means cardinality are rows and the degree is column. First we will check out the current degree and the cardinality. There are total 7 rows and the degrees are 6. Now let's come back to the question. 2 more columns are added. We are going to add columns that are 2. So total columns will be 8. So the degree is 8. And 3 rows we are going to delete. So 7 minus 3 will be 4. In this way we got the answer, degree 8 and cardinality is 4. What's the next question? Write a statement to increase semester 2 marks by 3% for the student securing marks between 70 to 100. To update already inserted record, we use update query. Update, then name of the table is result. We use set clause. We need to increase the semester 2 marks by 3%. So 3% we will be writing as 0.03. Then adding it to the current semester 2 marks, we will get the increased one. And there is a condition for whom we have to give this increased semester 2 marks. That condition we will be writing with where clause. Where semester 2 mark should be between 70 and 100. To give that range, we will be using between operator between 70 and 100. So the query will be like this. Write one difference between alternate key and candidate key. We have already studied that candidate key is single column or multiple columns which can be primary keys, means which has features to become a primary key. Then what about alternate key? There are many candidate keys which can be a primary key, but only one column will be primary key. The rest of the columns are called as alternate key, which couldn't be a primary key. You can very well understand this concept with one simple example. Consider there is a election for the head girl or head boy. There will be many students which will be competing for this post, but only one of them can be elected for that post. So head boy or head girl is the primary key, and all the students, those who are competing, we will call them as candidate key. And those students who are not elected as a head boy or head girl, those can be called as a alternate key. Every PYQS you solve today takes you one step closer to your goal. Remember, consistency beats everything. And with that, we wrap up today's session. In the next video, we will be covering very interesting topic, interface Python with MySQL. So stay tuned and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more learning and motivation. I will see you in the next video.